What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Lazy Sunday live stream here on Out of the Basement. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
Sup, guys?
Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. You know, Star Wars is a franchise about dads, right?
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Family. But thank you for everyone joining us today on this holiday. Justin and I are not dads, but, you know, happy Father's Day.
Yeah, I got Kiwi.
I suppose you're a pet dad. Typical millennial core. Here's my fur baby.
That is some real millennial core. me has fur baby.
It's my fur baby.
Yep.
But
shout out to Joe.
There you
If
go.
you ever want to see a video of us fishing together on the internet, check out my personal channel.
That's right. And shout out to my dad, Mike. He's no longer with us, but he's still here in my heart.
Very true. Very true.
All
Cheers.
right. That's right. Get the blue milk flowing. Here we go. Clink. Justin
Spice must flow.
Justin can't stop finding blue milk. Bro is insanely lucky.
Yep, and then I just keep buying for Nate as well.
I mean, you gotta.
Yeah, I
you
was
gotta.
there. Target the other day had 2 left. I'm like, the stars just keep aligning to...
Dude, and these ones, they've got like a date of 6/27, so
Yeah,
we could sip on them.
new ones. I find new ones tangy.
Yeah,
How's your milk not spoiled yet? 6/27 on this new batch here.
it's quite impressive that they're still making it and you're still finding it. So it's still out there, guys. It's still out there.
Thank you, Jonathan. I agree. Not really, but it's a thought that counts.
Yeah, it's just more millennial core, which, I mean, we are millennials, so we have to play into the
Wait, what?
stereotypes.
Oh, check this out. Way ahead of you.
Uh-oh. We got a little something planned here. But yes, Justin also found the Oreos. He's got mad skills when it comes to finding our silly Star Wars themed food items.
Yeah, and I got the dark side.
Ooh, and somehow, not even planned, but the light side.
Yep. I grabbed 2 packs at random, and I was really hoping that we were going to get 2 different ones. So, yeah, I got the red. You got the blue. It's just food coloring, you know? It's not like a different... I kind of thought it was going to be like a specific flavor, but it's not. It's just blue and red.
Yeah. Well, they have like, Kyber-inspired sugar crystals in them. So they're... I feel like I can definitely tell that they're like a little bit more sugary for sure.
Okay.
And then your regular Oreo.
Nice.
But yeah, of course we opened them already. We had a little sample.
True.
Had to try them out. So, good old Star Wars Oreos. But real quick before we do our we're gonna start with a little taste test. But I want to give a couple shout outs here. One to Rhino AZ22, Reno Az.
Sure.
Thanks for becoming a channel member. Appreciate the support.
Best way to support us.
Collector Cody's been a member for 12 months, on holiday right now, chilling for the Lazy Sunday stream. Very nice.
That's what I like to hear.
And we also have Bokalorian. Thank you for being a channel member for 7 months. So Justin, we had, and look, Oppo, slow down. You're getting a little ahead. Slow down. That is precisely why we have some fine cups of blue milk and our Oreos here. We're gonna have a little taste test right at the beginning of the stream. Give everyone our thoughts, but we're also gonna select an Oreo at random. We're gonna have a face off, because if you didn't know, the Oreos have Star Wars characters on the flip side of them, and there's a bunch of different options. So,
yeah, OT, ST, PT.
Yep. We're gonna take the Oreos out. I'm gonna pick one at random.
Yeah, I was gonna say no peeking. No peeking. I'm gonna go from the side that I didn't pick any out of yet.
We're going right here. All right. I'm not looking at my Oreo for the reveal. All right, who do we got? Ooh, Mace Windu?
Ooh, versus Kylo Ren.
Uh-oh. Who's winning, chat? Who is winning the Oreo cookie face-off? Mace Windu or Kylo Ren?
Mine's like a little dirty here.
Ooh. Getting your little
who would win in a fight? Obviously Mace.
Right. No shot.
Yeah. All right. Do a little dip.
Gotta get your dip in.
Do a little blue milky dip. Oh, snap.
I'm dipping.
Look at that texture.
Mm.
Kylo.
I could have almost pulled out Rey. At least I'm assuming that's Rey.
That lightsaber belongs to me.
Also had a Luke lined up.
Oh, let me pick up a rando.
There's the inside. Ooh.
A Stormy.
2020 Stormtrooper.
Yeah, it's specifically the 2020 Stormtrooper.
Yeah. This is the content you come to Out of the Basement for.
It's a holiday. There's not going to be as many people watching.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of news. We are going to talk about The Acolyte, though. The most controversial Star Wars show to ever exist ever. Star Wars is truly dead, Justin. So from now on, we're going to be covering Ninja Turtles on the stream.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hold on.
You could talk for a little while. I'm getting one more in here.
I'm going 2. That's your serving size, guys. Can't go above 2.
Whoa.
But I'm done with that. Can't go spoiling everything. Can't go spoiling my dinner. I will continue to consume this.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of mugs today. Got the Star Wars mug, but I also have the coffee mug, so I'm just a recipe for disaster for me.
Mm.
All right.
Look at my milk mustache.
Oh God. Get a napkin.
You know, I don't.
Hand.
I was gonna say I don't have any napkins near me, so I'm cooked.
Blue milk chug challenge, please no.
I'm cooked.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss the societal collapse that the Acolyte is causing. Oh no.
Mm-hmm. We definitely will.
All right, but first, let's get into the news. We do have a little bit of Black Series news to talk about. This will probably be a quick stream. Probably one of the quickest streams we've ever done, maybe.
Perhaps.
Who knows? Thank you, Connor Eagle, for being a member for 35 months. Thank you so much. So, quick little update on the re-release situation. If you guys have been following the channel for a couple weeks, you'll know that we've been using this French site to determine which re-release is coming next and the date that is coming out. And they're over. They're pretty much over. We have Cal Kestis and Plo Koon we talked about last week. Those went up on Wednesday, fan channel. And then nothing until July 11th with the Incinerator Stormtrooper roleplay helmet and the Halloween Clone Trooper.
Woohoo!
Which, I mean, this is a nice figure. I'm glad to have it.
Right. But it was very easy. At least for us, it was very easy to
Yeah,
get.
I found it in store.
Yeah, I saw it in store. Easily bought a couple online. So, I mean, it's cool if you missed it. I guess maybe if you weren't planning on picking it up and then had a little FOMO after it was gone. But
Yeah, so if you guys picked up your Plo Koon and Cal
Excuse me.
Kestis, I hope you did. Join that Discord if you didn't, and you'll find all the links and our in-stock alerts. We always got to plug it. But yeah, so it looks like it's over until July 11th. I don't know why there's such a big gap, but
yeah, almost a month gap.
yeah. And that's everything that was on the Yak Face list. So, again, some of these were on the Nerdzoic list, but there's still like, 10, 12, 15 figures that were on that that original like Nerdzoic list that is not on the Yak Face list. All of these that were on the Yak Face list did come out. So we will see if all the other Nerdzoic stuff will come out. And I have...
Oh, look, there you go. Justin Roberts is going to benefit from this.
Hey, there you go.
Fax Wilbon, new collectors all the time. That is facts.
Oh, yeah.
Pat Dyer's in the same situation. Was only going to buy Christmas ones, but changed my mind afterwards.
Yeah, so Archive Anakin, Archive Maul, which I guess there is like that GameStop thing that we covered with the Archive.
I don't think that counts.
The Mando Loyalist, Darth Nihilus we haven't seen, Clone Commander Obi-Wan, a Black Series Blunder, these droid packs, which I am really hoping these don't actually come to fruition. Need these on the new buck.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, Shadow Squadron set was on that list. The Gaming Greats Jango Fett, the Mandalorian. The Obi-Wan ended up coming out in the 3-pack, so I don't know if you're counting that. The Mandalorian Remnant Scout. And then these helmets did come out. So there's still about half of this list that didn't come out, but maybe. I mean, maybe. It's so hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to tell. But yeah, everything on Yak's list did come to fruition, which is pretty cool. Because we're a fan of re-releases. Just get your stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just get your stuff. Did you benefit from any of these?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, you probably got the droids.
I got the droids and Afra, and then I also got... scroll up. Hera and Sabine. That's right.
I still didn't pick up Hera. I always forgot. I wonder if she's still in stock.
I'm pretty sure she is.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else I already had. Didn't really need like any
Right.
other upgrades or anything like that, so I wasn't gonna pick anything else up. Bosk is sold out.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a pretty old figure. 2019 was the archive, so... It's
Yep.
nice to see them selling out, because I'm like, okay, there was a demand for this.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously there's a demand for it. All you have to do is look at the secondary market.
Risk Llama asks, is the Galaxy Hera better than Redbox? Yes. She does have a photoreal update, and I think while it's not a significant upgrade, it's a big enough upgrade to where I think it does truly make a difference.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That's like the only Rebels crew character that I don't have for the photoreal, so it does, I do notice it on the shelf, for sure. Moving on, this is yakface.com's Instagram. They say the Hasbro Pulse / Disney Store exclusive Black Series Rebel Fleet Trooper and Stormtrooper 2-pack was pipelined during the May the 4th fan stream, but it is now starting to arrive in the US. So I'd expect it to be officially announced and made available for pre-order soon. I'm hyped.
This is going to be dope, especially just printing out that Tantive 4. Like, I could use some Stormies, I could use some Rebel Fleets.
Now, will this have a holster?
It is in the picture, Justin. It is in the picture.
I'm really hoping.
It's hard to say because I don't know. They're so like picture specific.
Yeah.
But at the same time, would I believe they would put a little bit of new tooling into an Army Builder 2-pack? I'm not so sure. I hope it does. That'd be great.
Especially based off the Tantive set, because the way I just remember it is most of them having the holster in the Tantive scene.
Mm-hmm.
And A New Hope specific, there are a lot of Stormtroopers with holsters. They kind of get more sporadic in Empire, and then especially Return, I feel like, is when you start seeing more and more with no holsters. I mean, but there are, and they always have existed without holsters in all three movies. So it's never been a make or break, but like I said, A New Hope, you know, most of them have it. I'm like, let's get it. Like, just do it.
Right, especially when it's, a new belt? And that's pretty much it, tooling-wise?
They did the holster on Sergeant Creel. They did a holster. So I'm like, just do it.
Yeah.
Are they new or just the usual repaint scam?
Bruh.
Oh, Lord. Never go to these comments.
Yes, they're brand new figures, even though both of these have nothing wrong with them in the slightest and still hold up.
Yeah.
But they need to be newly tooled from the ground. I want soft goods on the Rebel Fleet Trooper.
Well, I would be down for the single jointed knees on the fleet.
Sure.
Because he has doubles. I would also be down for a different head.
Well, yeah. I think different head would be the best thing they could do. But
yeah, we do have these. We just want more.
Yeah, we have them.
And it's weird having three of the same human face as a soldier. So I really hope this is a different head, for sure.
What do you think the chances are of them actually doing a different head for this release?
Well, so the guy we have now, the fleet trooper we have now, is like the older gentleman who kind of has like grayish hair, and there's like a static shot of him in the movie, and they chose not to use that image. So
True.
Like, I feel like they went out of their way to show a different fleet trooper, so I'm really hoping it means a different head. And yeah, with the Stormtrooper, I would honestly be down, since clone troopers get so many different upgrades and different retools and sculpts, I'd be down for the 2020 to get an upgrade to give us some bicep swivel, and maybe some of the other upgrades. But really just, I mean, what else does it really need? Maybe make the helmet slightly bigger, because that's like one of the only small issues with it. It's like a little small.
Not quite buckety enough.
Yeah.
What's up, Luke?
Yo. But yeah. Oh, I'd love that. I don't think they're going to do that, because I just think with the Endor design and the Hoth design, their entire, like, head is covered aside from their face, just the way the wrappings and the helmet and all the different pieces. I just feel like the Fleet Trooper is such an open design on the head.
I don't know, because most of the time they have a helmet on, so...
But you can see around the head, though. Like, the Hoth and Endor, you can't see the other parts of their head.
But, like, they could take a page out of, like, a lot of import companies where if it is a character like that, the hair piece, like the front hair piece comes off and the face comes off.
Very true.
So, I wouldn't mind that. I think that would be pretty good and
or just straight up all the heads. Now I'm asking for too much.
That's too much. Drew Originals, thank you for the $1.99. They say maybe also a more wonky A New Hope style Stormy helmet. Yeah, give us the odd looking early Stormtrooper helmet. I'd be down for that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, the Sand Trooper with the brow that goes like, it's like a rainbow arch.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Thank you for the super chat, though. Appreciate that. Mr. Coffee says, give us the 2024 Stormtrooper with bicep swivel, a holster, and solid helmets like the Death Watch Mando. Please. Please.
I'm down. What's up, Dusty Trooper? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, if it's the same exact thing, if it's just repacks of the 2020 Stormtrooper and the Fleet Trooper we have right now, would you still pick this up?
I would probably just get one.
Maybe do a head swap on the Rebel?
Yeah, because I do have a lot of other heads I could potentially use from like different figure lines that fit Black Series pretty well, so I would probably end up doing something like that. But it would also be a good opportunity to, you know, repaint the Rebel Fleet Trooper into Captain Antilles as well.
Yeah, so when they first came out with the 2020 Stormtrooper and 2020 Clone Trooper, and they just had the unpainted heads underneath the helmet, they claimed that it was to help with proportions, but all it did was warp the helmets to shit.
Right.
That's all it did with the unpainted faces.
Yep. Or, you know, the factory...
They glued it. Yeah.
Glues them wrong, so it sits on the wrong part of the face, and it warps the helmet. Ultimately,
nice.
it ended up being a bad idea.
Do you guys think the Pipeline Leia and Luke are new sculpts? I'm worried because it was pointed out to me in the Discord that we have 2 A-lister code names. And they don't have, those 2 specific looks don't have Galaxy packaging releases. So, like, are they really just going to repack them in Galaxy and call them A-lister? I'd be so disappointed if that was the case.
Yeah, I really hope not. That would be some serious hot garbage. I'm personally hoping for new sculpts. I'm hoping for new sculpts all the way around so that we don't even have to worry about it.
Yep. Please no. Do not manifest that shit. Please.
Nah, we don't need
Me
it.
too. Me too. It's kind of odd. You can't really see, but this shelf right here, right above my head in the middle, is OT Empire only. And it's only one shelf? I'm like, dang, like, if you really just count, like, the OT Imperials, like, not counting any of the Disney, post-Disney Empire designs, we really don't have that many Imperials from the OT. Like, I mean, I suppose you could say, well, there isn't that many to begin with, but, like, we still need the ATSC driver. We still need the Imperial gunner. We still need, like, the Imperial protocol droid, the Death Star droid. Like, there's still tons that they can do.
Yeah, 100%.
And honestly, like, Nate, do you think it's crazy that we are almost halfway done with 2024 and we have 0 OT figures for this year? And we only know of one for sure that's coming with Hammerhead?
Weird, I guess personally, yes, but at the same time, I feel like, and it pains me to say this, but, you know, you got to think in terms of business. Past few OT figures haven't done the best performance-wise.
True, but it's like Troopers. I feel like that's a little different.
Well, I mean, I mean, like, for instance, Honda Baba, Dr. Evazan, Yavin Ceremony Leia, the photoreal updates of Han, Luke, and Leia. You know, those all ended up on sale, on clearance, stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel like Troopers, it's a completely different story. I think an Imperial gunner would sell, ATSD driver. It does upset me a little bit. I know they're, like Wilbon is saying, like, they're doing a metric F-ton of prequel figures compared to previous years. Like, I say a metric ton when it's like 6, but, like, compared to previous years, it's, like, so many.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so that is nice.
When you really think about it, like, I'm pretty confident this year is probably the year we've gotten the most prequel figures at one time.
It's gotta be.
Like
Especially if are you counting like Clones of the Republic and like the Ahsoka clone?
Right, yeah. Definitely count.
Yeah, give me Porkins. I'm down.
Yeah, Porkins would be sick.
Maybe a Peg Warmer Supreme, but I'd be supporting that all day. We need a Watt Tambor. I agree.
That'd be fun. Just a giant traffic cone. I'd take it.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree, Jayhawk. There's other examples, like Ewok Village, Leia, stuff like that. I think a lot of those types of figures do peg warm, unfortunately. And I say that with a broken heart, mind you.
Right.
Like,
well, yeah, and that's what I'm getting at, is it kind of sets like a, they only see the numbers. They don't really care about anything else. So they see figures like that underperforming. They're like, well, maybe people don't want original trilogy figures.
Yeah. And with Jar Jar, we didn't get another Phantom Menace figure until like 5 years later. So, I mean,
clearly that had an effect. I mean, it had to have. If it took that long to get another Phantom Menace figure.
Right. Well, what year did Jar Jar... Was that 2021? So it'd be 3 years later. My bad. Still, 3 years for another prequel figure that isn't an archive release? Come on. All right. Let's move on to Val's Toy Store finally deciding to cook.
We are so back.
Where are they? Here we go.
We are so back. Vales got back in the kitchen. They got back on the ball, and they delivered one of the most anticipated AliExpress figures that we've been dying for them to do, and that is the 212th Airborne. 2 varieties. You got the 212th Airborne Sniper, which comes with a black comma, some minor different details, and an accurate DC-15 that's accurate to the Purge Trooper.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's really cool if you want to give this blaster to a Purge Trooper, and then your Purge Trooper will be super accurate. And then we also have a more movie-style Revenge of the Sith regular 212th Airborne.
Yep. And is this the one that we got? This one?
Yes, I purchased the movie accurate one.
Yeah, because that's the one I wanted anyway.
Yeah, the Sniper looks cool, and I feel like I've seen pictures that it's from something, but I don't know exactly what it's from. So I just stuck with, I wasn't going to get both, because while you have like a little welcome deal on while you're looking at AliExpress,
because I'm not signed in. Yeah.
Right. But for people who have purchased these, they're $28. So that's a little bit of a stinger.
Yeah, it's more than Hasbro prices, and I get they're coming from China, but at the same time they're fake. Like, these are knockoffs. They aren't real officially licensed figures, so to be knockoffs, I do still think they should be cheaper than Hasbro. Yeah. For sure.
Now, did we both still get one? You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Yeah, because like for some reason Hasbro refuses to do these. Instead, we get Holocom, Osha, May, and Ezra. Whereas they could easily just do this with. Sure. There's a few newly sculpted bits, but you get the idea. Like, instead of doing simple repaints, they're like, let's do Holocom collection. Garbage.
Yep. And not Obi-Wan. It is the Purge Trooper helmet. So it's not a new helmet from Vales. It's just the Purge Trooper, which is basically the same helmet. I mean, I'm sure there's some very, very minor differences, but to me, it looks accurate enough. So.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I was off the Vales train. I was definitely off the Vales train. But Why is Hasbro not doing this? Why
That's
is
what I'm
Lucasfilm or Disney stopping them from doing this? Why, like, this should be common sense figures. Especially, like, the line has been out since 2013. This should be common sense releases. But instead, they just randomly focus on the weird gimmick stuff that seemingly a lot of people get pissed off about. Yeah, and theatrical Revenge of the Sith, 100%. Like, I didn't pick up the Wolfpack grunts, which I kind of regret, maybe a little bit, but when it's theatrical and it looks good, and I gotta go for it.
Yeah. And I do believe, too, these are on the 2020 body. I'm fairly certain.
Yeah, which is, you know, they have the 2023, so I don't know why they're not using it.
Yeah. My thought is when I get mine, I'm going to try and see how easy it is to take off the little extra bits and maybe put it on one of my 800 2023 clone troopers that I have. Maybe just do a little painting, but I guess it all just depends on how easy, like, this strap comes off. The helmet should be removable, but we'll see. I'll do some experimenting when I get it.
It's hard to say, Jesse, because their order numbers are different, clearly. Although 2000 is pretty significant. Like, or is that the wrong one? Or is this, like, counting every single one? Yeah.
Yeah, you might have to, like... There's a way to where you can click on it and, like, look at the actual, like, link,
Yeah.
But
regardless, I mean, most of these AliExpress ones, we're talking, like, a few hundred figures. And that's not a lot compared to Hasbro numbers. Big box retail numbers, so, I mean... They're indeed the 2020. Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate because they have the 2023.
maybe their mold broke of of the 20. They dropped it. They're like, no!
They dropped it. It just shattered.
Apo says, I saw on the Facebook Veils group, Neo is coming.
Ooh. Now, if they're doing, like, Revenge of the Sith theatrical, I'll just be back on board 100%.
Veils is like, we'll do the 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith figures. Don't worry, Hasbro. We've got it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Hasbro's like, is there like a movie anniversary next year or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I definitely don't agree, 49er. If you look at the line as a whole and look at this year,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
really have many complaints for this year. I mean, they've been going prequel crazy. Finally got the Super Battle Droid, Droidica. We're still getting clones from Hasbro. It's just like they could be doing more.
yeah.
So, and I get that not everything has to be a clone, which is why I say, why don't they repaint the 2020 Stormtrooper? Like, we haven't got a re-deco of that one since Mike, and then the Night Trooper later this year. I mean, I feel like there needs to be more repaints that actually make sense.
Yep. But, maybe 49ers, we don't have 9 nubs, so we know 49ers. He's waiting. He's waiting in the shadows.
Oh, that's just like, that is exactly what it is.
100%.
It's Disney, Lucasfilm. I mean, that's their licensor. Everything they do is pending licensor approval, and they 100% dictate what they can and can't make. And we know that factually. Like, they have said that before. They said it with corporate spunk added to it to make it seem like it's not as bad as it actually is, but it definitely is.
I mean, it's like we said on, Figure It Out this week, like Holocom May and Holocom OSHA, that screams corporate mandate.
Yeah, because even for a company like Hasbro, I'm like, I can't wrap my head around that logic. I'm like, if you want to make money, That is not the route to take. And they're $35, which we said in the video that May was supposed to, or OSHA or May or whatever one was supposed to be $27.99, but they were both $35.
Oof.
I was like, what?
Hasbro really crazy if they think anyone's paying $35.
Yeah, I can agree with this, Thomas. I think depending on how 2024 goes, I think it could be the best year for the Black Series, which I did think that about 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I thought 2023 was amazing and potentially the best year for the line.
Yeah, I mean, despite the minor blunders here and there, for the past few years, it's almost been like every year has just been getting better and better for the Black Series.
Mm. Yeah.
Like we always talk about. I know a lot of us were here for the red and black box era, but a lot of us weren't. You want to talk about real dark times? Red and black box era.
Nah,
horrible time to collect. So, yeah, I think I agree with you though, Justin. This could very well end up being the best year for the Black Series, period.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of prequel stuff, but I do hope they go harder.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they go even harder this year, if it really is the year of the prequel beat or whatever they said, because for future releases we know Yoda and Gree, Sidious, and then the clean SBD. We definitely need some more. If they're gonna make it a prequel beat, we definitely need some more.
100%. And I also agree with Wilbon. Cannot wait to get another light puck for $8.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got the Droidica. Yeah, did you guys see that Big Bad Toy Store had 5s for $50?
Damn.
What's funny is we actually have a video coming out soon about Big Bad, and we talk about their what we call second round scalping, which is like X amount of time passes and then they just randomly, they know something's going to be ultra desirable, so they like wait or something, and then like it goes in stock later for a increased price.
Woof.
So $50 for 5s. It was also $50 for Final Duel or Duel's End Vader. $70 for Cara Dune. There was like some, I know they're con exclusives, but still, I'm like, this is just weird coming from an official seller. So
right. Ooh, yeah, Coffee said 5s was actually 60. 60 bones sold out on Big Bad.
Sheesh. Send me that link so I can include that screenshot.
Here, I'm sending it in the private chat right now. There you go.
Yeah, let's take a gander.
Bruh. Whew.
And people are buying it, bro. Ew.
For the inaccurate helmet, brother, and inaccurate pauldron, brother.
What's up, Doug?
What's up, Doug?
Yeah, one of the sides should be painted all the way black. The design, like the 5's logo design thing on his helmet, looks so bad. I would not buy this figure for $60. Oh, I totally get that it's a suggested retail price, but I would expect this type of behavior from eBay. I wouldn't expect this type of behavior from like an official business that has good grace in the community, and a lot of people go to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels a little icky coming from like one of the official fan channels, especially this is an officially recognized fan channel by Hasbro. When Hasbro explains what a fan channel is, they have the Entertainment Earth logo, the GameStop logo, and the Big Bad Toy Store logo. So the fact that they're like officially recognized as a fan channel and then they turn around and sell something of theirs for $60, $70, not a fan of that.
Yeah. And of course, Lukeness is summoned.
Yeah.
We literally start talking about 5s and Luke, hey guys, I'm here.
Yeah. You know what the solution to this is, though, guys? Just get the figure when it first comes out, which you could do by joining our Discord and turning on the notifications for in-stock alerts. That's
right.
is how you take care of that issue.
Devin McPherson, thank you for being a member for 12 months. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Devin.
Oh, big bad. But yeah, well, I mean, they're going to keep doing it because obviously it's working out for them. Every time they've done it, whatever the figure is, it sells out.
Mm-hmm.
And so clearly there's a market for it.
Yep. That's capitalism. They'll do it. I mean, I get that they're a business, but again, it just feels weird coming from them. I don't know. That's like basement dweller, scalper, eBay behavior to me. Mm-hmm. It's weird seeing that come from an official seller. Yeah, but they're imports, so I'm like, I don't know if that's the same. Right. Because with fives, it's like they were holding on to that because they knew eventually it was going to be super desirable. I'm assuming that's what they're doing anyway.
Yeah, and most of the time with imports, it seems like Big Bad is probably buying them themselves. Like they're buying from like Ami or some shit. So they have to mark it up or else they won't make any money off of it.
I love this. Lobot will be locked behind a HasLab in 2035.
Yes.
Yeah, should we before we move on, should we do a HasLab check?
Yeah, of course. Of course we could do a HasLab check.
Oh, not the ghost.
Bro's got Ghost on the mind. Lucifer.
Where is it? That's another thing. It's like, why isn't this popping up? When I type in TVC HasLab, why is the Cantina why is it not the first thing to pop up? Here we go.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, it's slowly growing, and I mean, they're in the middle period. It is. I think this is slower compared to other Star Wars HasLabs.
Yeah, it definitely is. But this is also the first diorama HasLab, so it's a little different. And like when we had Tim on last week, it seems like vehicles always do crazy well. So this is kind of, in a way, a little bit of an experiment as far as a HasLab is concerned. But yeah, 4,884 backers.
Bro, I'm about to back it. Oh. JK, bro.
I mean, for anyone wondering, I did end up backing it, by the way, after the stream last week.
Right after the stream with Tim.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't gonna back it on stream. So.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, I did end up. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna drop the credit card information in chat.
I'm down.
But yeah, I'm in.
So I will get to experience the set after all. Look at that.
Tim convinced me. And Zooboy backed as well. And Wilbon is gonna back. I know Wilbon's gonna break. It's only a matter of time. If he will break, I will break you, Wilbon.
I had a brief 10 minutes there. A few days after the stream where I was trying to do some mental gymnastics in my head because I thought to myself, what did I do with my Rancor money? I bought the Lego Cantina, which was $350. The Rancor was $350, and then the Lego Cantina was $350. So I used my Rancor money to buy that Lego Cantina, the Master Builder series, the big collector set one. I never built it. And I know I want to make a coffee table out of it. So when this HasLab came out, I was like, maybe I can sell my Lego Cantina to help pay for the TVC HasLab of the Cantina. Because I'm more of an action figure oriented person anyway, and I did sell almost all of my Lego. So I mean, I tried to do some justifying in my head, but I ended up not doing it. Just because the Lego comes with 21 characters. I feel like for $500, this should come with more than 3 characters at the base. And one of them is, the 2 Tanaka sisters and then Wooher. I feel like for $500, you should be getting more. Especially that they want to show out they showed off that video, and in that video they said the band can go right over here. I'm like, that got me thinking, like, well, you should have included some band members, like at least a figurine, maybe. So, I don't know.
It kind of sucks, too, because the Modal Nodes TVC set is sold out right now.
Yeah, and...
So if you missed it, you're kind of... Like me, I was like, after I backed this, I was like, all right, well, I'll just go get the Modal Nodes real quick, and it's sold out.
Yeah, and, like, even though this is a completely different comparison, like, it's not even a fair comparison because it's Lego and the figures are, like, this big, but the Lego comes with the main heroes, you know, Garandan, Cabe, Hammerhead, the Deveronian, Greedo, etc., etc. 3-bit musicians. Like, I just feel like for the world building element that I'm going for, as just like a one-off thing, like if I bought this HasLab, that would just be a one-off thing, coffee table, like that's it. Just like the Lego thing, that's going to be that it's just that one singular display. And for the world building, I might as well go with Lego just because there's more characters.
Right.
So,
yeah. The way I was thinking about it was, like I talked about on last stream, one of my biggest collecting regrets of all time is passing on the sail barge. You know, we were collecting at the time, obviously huge Star Wars fans at the time, and I passed on it. And now it goes for over $2,000. It's something that I legitimately could not spend that much money on, and I didn't want that to happen again. Yeah. So I'm like, let me just secure this so that way I can have it, I won't regret it, and you know, this is the cheapest it's going to be. If this funds, this is the cheapest it's going to be, no matter what. It is going to fund. There's no doubt in my mind that it
will fund. I think it's just a question of the tiers.
Right. But, you know, if let's just say, for instance, if the Ghost is anything to go off of, the Ghost got like 5,000 backers on its last day. Damn. So it went nuclear on the last day.
Yeah. But to be fair, though, we were working at a movie theater when the barge came out.
Right.
You know, like, I just feel like at the time, $500 probably seemed like much more money than it is today.
That's true, but I was living at home. I had no bills. There was no reason I couldn't have just...
Yeah.
I couldn't have just done it, you know?
And I feel like we're just much more... This sounds corny, but I think we're more, like, hardcore now.
I would agree with that.
You can watch Out of the Basement videos about the barge when we're like... $500. Oh my god! Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But it's like, in a way, even though I think we were definitely adults we were. We were over 18. And at the time, I just feel like that was like a shit ton of money. But now it's like, not that we're rich or anything, but like $500 is not as much money today as it was back then to us.
Right.
I was like, Mountain Dew.
Right.
You know.
I need my pizzas.
You're right.
But, yeah, so... And I also have a ton of Cantina aliens already. I've been collecting Cantina aliens and Jabba's Palace stuff for a few years now in 3 3/4 inch scale, so...
Let's see. Yeah, I think it's right here. Star Wars Black Series 2018 hype and Jabba's sail barge discussion.
Ooh,
figured out episode 12.
Damn. 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was March 6th, 2018.
Dang.
Nothing weird about the sail barge. Vintage collectors have wanted this for years. Since we were kids.
I'm afraid of what we say in the video.
It's literally like us being dumb kids and thinking that $500 was like an absurd amount, which it is an absurd amount of money to spend on a toy. Let's be real. But we have a different outlook today because we're older, and obviously, like, we live on our own. We have jobs, careers, so we look at it differently. But yeah, not for me, but Nate will be picking this up, and I will, at the very least, get to experience this set. Play clips. Well, now I'm scared. The copyright system is gonna detect it on ourselves.
Well, unless we're going to copyright our own.
Yeah.
Yep, we got slammed last week. We definitely got slammed.
Yeah, Fox did copyright claim us for... We were watching the cantina scene with Tim.
A 45-second unbroken clip. That means they get to make money off of our entire 3-hour stream.
Yep. And
thank you.
Blurring the footage did not work because apparently they own blurred footage of the cantina where you can't even tell it's the cantina.
Yeah, because when Justin was pausing it, it didn't detect when Justin was like playing a clip, pausing it real quick, playing a clip. But there's like one 45-second segment where we play it unbroken.
Yeah.
And they copyright claimed our entire
and they
video.
also try to say that it was the special edition. Actually, that was despecialized, the theatrical cuts, Fox. Know what movie you're claiming? Because that was not the special editions of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it is garbage because I wasn't really thinking like in that sense at the time, but I thought since it wasn't taking up the whole screen, there wasn't audio, and we were providing commentary over it. Technically, we didn't do anything wrong. We're commentating over it, so it's fair use.
Right.
And then on top of that, we were promoting and actively contributing to the success of an officially licensed Star Wars product. So
yeah,
it's not a big deal though, because it's just the ads. You know,
right.
we couldn't put ads on the video. It didn't mess with, it almost has 5,000 views, so it didn't mess with views or, anything like that. So it's fine. It's just we haven't had that happen in a very long time.
Yep. And then, of course, if you go to fight the claim, you have to click an option that says, well, if you're not being truthful about it, your whole channel could be deleted.
Yep, that is because we both did the same thing without telling each other. We went through the process of counterclaiming, and at the very end, after you explain the whole thing, it has you check this bold text that says, if you are falsely, a false counterclaim can lead to the deletion of your entire channel. I'm like, that is straight up fear-mongering. They are making it so you don't actually file a counterclaim, because no one's going to read that and not get scared. Like, oh, it's not worth it now if my channel... And what constitutes a false claim?
Right.
Which they don't define, of course. So you just hear this vague thing that says your channel could get deleted. I'm like, hell no.
Yep. So... yeah, there's a blur for a little bit on last week's stream clip. I know a few people were asking about it, but we were trying to skirt that copyright claim, but too risky.
We're stuck with the blur because you can't undo the blur.
Right.
Which is stupid.
But yeah, so that was fun. But there's the HasLab.
Yep.
It's gonna back. I think I'll make a bold prediction. All tears. I think the last couple days we'll see the explosion.
Remember when we said that about the Rancor?
The Rancor almost funded.
No, but we said it was going to back with all tiers because Star Wars fans have deep pockets. We were spoiled by the TVC fans showing up.
Well, that's
so I just
the thing.
assumed, it'll fund. It's Star Wars.
Unfortunately, the Black Series community just didn't show up for that one.
True. Yeah, now you'll play the whole clip on Monday Night Figure Ball. Do it. Your channel's not... The Wilbon channel isn't monetized anyway, so you have nothing to lose.
Play the whole movie.
Just watch the whole movie.
Yeah. But...
yeah. But no, their copyright system is busted. It's broken. There's, instances of people... jokingly singing living on a prayer, and then whatever music label is that, Bon Jovi or Journey?
That's Bon Jovi.
Okay, that whatever music label he's on will claim that video if you're jokingly I'm about to do it right now. I'm about to get it.
Bon Jovi's about to get paid. He's like, come on, sing it.
Yeah, if people didn't back out, it would. That's a good point. Because I'm pretty sure it was a few hundred people that backed out.
Bon Jovi is also now sending Vinny the Kneecapper. I'm going to hear a knock at my door.
Yep. It's going to be the Pinkertons. Bon Jovi on stream?
Yeah, we're getting Bon Jovi. I mean, he's got a Necafig now. We saw the Necafig.
True.
Such
That's
a rant.
very true.
I mean, NECA's always done like rock musicians, but just so bizarre to be standing in a Target holding an articulated, like collector quality Bon Jovi action figure.
Yep.
I'll sing some Beatles songs for you, Kenobi. Picture yourself in a boat on a river.
Justin better than Bon Jovi facts. I agree. All right, you ready for some recents?
Oh yeah, I like.
Or do you have any?
Yeah, I've got plenty of recents, brother. I got not.
right.
I shouldn't say plenty, but let's go to Jabba's palace and we'll see what we got.
Yeah, I got. What do I have this week? I think I only have like 3D printing type stuff because I'm back.
Who wants it?
Yeah, but he's back.
Who wants?
Here we are.
Jabba hitting the gwitty.
Jabba hitting a witty.
Thanks, Mitch. We appreciate
course.
that. No better time than to spend your work day listening to your boys and getting paid to do so. That's what I'm talking about. Stick it to your boss.
Bro, look what I'm doing. Here, should I... Let's do a live look. Oh, what am I doing?
Ooh, the poop shoot. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it chose like a big one. Of like
Yeah.
because I'm like, it's just orange filament, and I bought an entire roll just for a very small purpose. So I'm just going to have like an excess of purple.
Yeah. I mean, you printed me some greebles, so I appreciate that.
True.
Dude,
Yeah.
I ran out of black filament last night with like 4 layers left on a hexagon stand.
Dang.
I was so upset. I came home and I was like, no!
Yeah. Too schlub, too furious. I have a genuine answer to your question, and that is because the Max Rebo songs are not part of the official soundtrack. So, like, if an algorithm has, like, for example, when we did the Avengers Endgame bit, it got copyright struck and copyright struck and copyright struck. I had to pitch shift it to, like, -20, whatever value that is. But the Max Rebo tracks never get copywritten. We have the Recital song, which is the outro of the streams. We have Galactic Dance Blast, which is recent pickups. We have Max in the Palace or something, I think, for Bangers and Blunders.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we use the Max Rebo tracks, but they've never gotten copyright. And I think it's because they're not part of the official soundtrack. You kind of have to dig for them, you know? So, I don't know.
100%.
And I think video is worse. I think video is a lot easier to get flagged than audio. But yeah.
Snake says, do you guys think the Rebel Fleet Trooper will get a single release? I'm guessing no. I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Not Obi-Wan says, what are you printing? Something related to poop?
Yeah, it's because the 3D printer I have, when you change the filament, it like purges the old color out, so there's always like a little tiny...
I mean, even when you start a new print, it poops every printout.
Yeah. So this is just a little bucket to catch the filament. I'm just going to put it right next to the printer.
Yeah. Yeah. Nixelplix, I ended up having to print one that fit in with the screw.
Yeah.
So mine's attached to my back.
Well, I don't know. Mine was right up against a wall, so I feel like I can just place it on the table. I don't know.
Yeah. It's just like my little nightstand thing I have on it is just like the absolute perfect size for the printer.
Yeah.
So I had to use one that could actually like screw into the back.
Justin actually got the tunes from Max himself. Yeah, I talked to him.
Yeah.
I asked him if I could use his tracks. What's up, Lazy Jawa?
Hey.
All right, Nate, you got your recents?
Yeah, I got some recents. The first thing I want to start out with is something I got last week right after the stream. People who dislike the sequel trilogy with a burning passion, close your eyes for just a minute.
I'm confused on this one,
but
so I'm honestly confused.
I got the SH Figuarts Crate Luke.
Look at that.
Of course, it's not going to focus. $22 for an SH Figuarts, and I like this costume for Luke. And he also comes with the Han Solo dice. So I thought that this would be a pretty solid pickup. And this is also like what I was talking about, Justin. So you see Luke here. So he has alternate face plates. And watch me break this on stream. So like when you swap the face here, it's like two separate pieces.
Yeah.
So they could totally do something like that for the Rebel Fleet Trooper, and I think that would be fine. Especially because, like, you know, you could kind of see the line, but it's really not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's horrible. I did also get some 3D printed goodies from Cubic 3D Prints. I wanted to show him some support after sending us a care package a while back. So I got the Plo Koon swooshing lightsaber effect, the
Nice.
Yellow saber, because in the old video game Jedi Power Battles, Plo Koon has a yellow lightsaber. And this is just a really cool swooshing effect piece. So now my Plo Koon. And it's always nice, like, you know, when you have all your Jedi pose together, everyone's got blue or green. Everyone's got a blue or a green saber, so it's nice to get a little mix in there, little color mix. So that made him look nice and unique on the shelf. Sequel trilogy haters again, avert your eyes, because I did also get Rey's
Nice.
end of the movie saber, which I just feel like, you know, I wish she would have just had a different saber for the whole movie saga.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, this was really cool to see at the end of the movie, even though Rise of Skywalker is a piece of garbage film. Her having her own lightsaber was really cool.
I love Nate. I just love Nate.
Yeah.
It's a garbage film, but here I am buying custom hilts and blades.
Yeah. Well, I love this Rey figure. I think this is her best costume.
Oh, it is. It's her best figure in the line, for sure, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
100%. But I felt like that one missing ingredient was her specific lightsaber. So Cubic makes the whole saber, the hilt and the saber. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Why not upgrade this figure, make it look better on the shelf, instead of her having Anakin / Luke's saber. And then the most important Cubic 3D print accessory piece that I got. Had to get the
So
Droideka.
sick.
Had to get the Droideka blast effects.
They should have done that. They should have included that.
100%. But, you know, supporting Cubic, I'm like, no problem. You know? No problem. So You can see there, one is longer, one is shorter to emulate the alternate firing.
Yeah. I love that they thought of doing that.
Which is
One
a nice,
shorter.
which is a nice little detail. So it actually looks like the Droideka is firing in real time, and they just plug right in. They fit perfectly, super snug. So they're not going to come popping out, and they're a really nice, juicy, vibrant red.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks great.
Love it.
Looks great. So those were my cubic 3D print stuff that I got. Check out his page on Etsy if you want to pick any of those items up. They are for sale there. Justin, this will probably give away one of your pickups, but you did also print me some greebles.
Yep. Some pieces.
Some pieces that I needed for a certain throne that has orange accents on them.
Flower things. Yeah.
And
yes, their lasers were red.
you know, I was like, you got that whole roll of orange filament, brother. I was like, why don't you hook me up?
Yeah, because I wanted to get orange because I feel like I'll eventually do the carbon freezing chamber, at least the steps. Because I just think Luke standing at the bottom of the steps looking up to Vader and just having those black and orange, you know, no painting required on a lot of Land Speeder Luke stuff. So I thought that'd be cool to print one day. So I was like, I'll get orange because a bunch of their filament was on sale. And I like to have fun colors as well because I print a lot of like stuff for like present type stuff, like people at the office and stuff. So I like to have fun colors as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And then keeping on with the Black Series train, I did also get...
You got your Stormtrooper 2-pack that comes with a free Star Killer.
Yeah, it comes with this stupid character guy here. I don't know who that is, but it's got two Stormtroopers inside of it. But yeah, this went back in stock for the insane discounted price of $50. More than worth it.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is my second set. I have one, but I wanted to get another one. I had the single release of Star Killer on pre-order anyways. So I was like, so you're telling me I could pay $25 more and get two more figures?
Where
and
did you have that pre-ordered where it didn't process?
Big Bad. It's a classic Big Bad moment.
No.
Classic Big Bad moment. But, you know, we've already confirmed that the blue swoosh can fit on like Ki-Adi-Mundi's lightsaber. I'm sure the red swoosh can fit somewhere else as well. I'm going to use this blast effect piece for a Dragon Ball Z figure that I have. So I'm going to make some really good use out of all this different alternate stuff that is included with it. And two more Stormies. And you can never have too many Stormies. And then, so I've been on the hunt now. I'm getting serious about finishing out the few Cantina members that I really need for TVC scale. And I went to my local toy shop, and they had the exact one I was really looking for. So here is Labria, or Labria.
Yeah. The
However-
Deveronian. Devilman.
Devilman. Here
So
he
sick.
is, which I felt really good about this. I paid $14 for it. Felt really good about this because I was locked in an eBay battle for this, and it got up to $33. And I was like, okay, I can't do it. So the other person won at $33, and I was like, but who's the real winner? Who's the real winner here? So yeah, happy to get this. One of the very few Cantina aliens I'm actually missing that they've done. I went and did like a little checklist, and I'm honestly not missing too many. The couple that I am missing now, though, are like unbelievably expensive.
Dang.
So
You still have a decent amount, though.
yeah, I still have a decent amount. The canteen is going to be pretty populated, but I was looking at some of the ones I'm missing, and I'm just like, ooh, yeah, I don't know. I hope we just get some redos.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we just get some redos on that. So, George, that Star Killer set is on Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah, it's like their outlet deals, sales that they've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice.
Lord Funk, there's people that sell Landspeeder Luke's dioramas. You just have to track down one of those sellers.
Yeah, I don't know who sells them though, but
Yeah.
you have to find one that like is approved to sell his stuff.
And Zooboy, I have TVC Snaggletooth, so is that technically Tequil? I'm not sure if we ever determined the lore behind that.
Because there's Zutton.
Right, Zutton and Tequil are brothers.
Yeah, and one is red and one is blue, right?
Yeah, I have the red one. I have the red one.
So that's Zutton, right? And I think Tequil is blue.
Well, when I search Tequil on Google, he's also showing up as red. So I'm not really sure. I need an OT lore expert.
Got Colonel Angus here.
Yeah. What's up, Colonel? Who am I missing? Mainly I'd have to look at the list again. I've been trying to get Danik Jericho since he's kind of like
break the walls down.
Yeah. Which is the guy that's smoking. Like right in the front of the cantina, so I feel like he's a really prominent one that I would like to get. And I don't have Danik Jericho. Let me do some research here. I'll find a list of.
Was that it for your recent pickups?
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Well, while Nate's doing his research, let's jump into mine. I literally, that's the end of recent pickups because I got nothing. So we'll go back to our outer space background, but put the 3D printer logo up there because I had printed some stuff. So, it's already spoiled a little bit, but I printed the Mandalorian throne.
Ooh.
I have this piece as well. So, I think since I'm going to put this back up against a wall, I'm going to just, like, stick this stuff in here. Maybe I can show it off better. Just to give you a sense of what it will look like.
Nice.
The Mandalorian throne.
Beautiful.
So, some people were asking me about the color. Because Luke has his printed a little differently on his Patreon, color-wise. It changes throughout the series. So for me, I went more for what it looked like when Duchess Satine was the ruler of Mandalore, because my pre-Vizsla is going on here. I think when Maul took over, the design sort of changed to like darker colors. But the vibe I was going for was like when Satine was the leader, and then pre-Vizsla, that whole arc, and when he came in and took over like with Death Watch and everything. And then pre-Vizsla was sort of teaming up with Maul, Crimson Dawn. And it had, in a lot of the shots, I looked at the Lego, I looked at the animation, I looked at other people's prints. Everything's a little different, honestly. But in a lot of those earlier episodes, it does have this light gray, light orange vibe to it. So I went with the Overture light gray matte filament, and then the orange is bamboo matte orange, mandarin orange. And yeah, you also get the window design.
We also have to acknowledge Wilbon's super chat.
Oh,
Flew right past us. Thank you, Wilbon, for the $4.99. He's heading to the World Market tomorrow. Going to look for some foreign snacks for a care package I'm sending y'all.
Whoa.
Check that P.O. box soon. We like that. You know, we got a little package ready for Bosk. We're gonna load some American candy up and send it his way.
true.
That's gonna be fun. But thank you, Wilbon. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so that's my project, and I just love having the bamboo P1P because no issues, just zero issues. The back panel is a piece you glue on, but other than that, the throne is one big piece, and then these panels are different. You just glue those on. So yeah, I did some ironing on it, on the top surfaces, and looks really
so
good. And
yeah, that looks awesome. That's a great print.
And since Pre-Vizsla is just a horrible figure, I mean, let's face it, it's a terrible figure, but visually, he's needed for the shelf. Like,
Yep.
on a visual level, Pre-Vizsla is needed for the shelf, so I had to get Pre-Vizsla, and since it's on the crappy old Jango body, we're going to put him on the Mandalorian throne, and I was planning on having Maul kind of approaching the throne like he's about to challenge him.
Mm-hmm.
I challenge you, one warrior to another, and only the strongest shall rule. Another little thing I found at a Ross is this little craft organizer. Is that upside down?
It is.
For some accessories.
Ooh,
Accessory storage.
very nice.
I think I'm going to do like NECA stuff in there. Because all my NECA accessories I still just have in baggies. So that'll be nice. And I have something similar for Black Series, so it was only a matter of time. It was only, what, $12, $13 at Ross? So that was pretty cool. And that's it for me.
Let me get one final 3D print update.
Oh, snap.
Because I was feeling a little Cantina-y with the HasLab, so I wanted to print something out for the Black Series. And so I printed out Landspeeder Luke's Cantina entry.
Ooh, so cool.
So this is the entryway with the droid scanner here. This is a separate piece that is printed separately, and I just glued it on there. And I got these little LED lights on Amazon that when you screw it on, is it not going to turn on now? It's gonna make a liar out of me on stream.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's like, there we go.
Oh.
So I just got some tack so I can... God, why does it keep fading? The batteries are already dead. Piece of shit light.
What the heck?
I was just experimenting with these little lights here. Come on.
Where'd you get those again?
Amazon.
Okay.
So here you go. And
That's cool.
I got my little Greedo. So you can get a good sense of the scale. Well,
That is huge.
trying to pose Greedo. And this all prints in one piece. Besides the droid scanner. But the walls and everything is all, it's a one
That
piece.
is huge, bro.
So,
If anyone's wondering why we don't get HasLab dioramas in Black Series, this is why.
going somewhere solo? I was just on my way to see Java.
Wear it like a hat, Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the helmet.
Yeah. That's what I did on Monday Night Figure Ball. But yeah, that is something I 3D printed this week. And I can't wait.
I don't think it needed supports.
Nope.
Yeah, no supports.
No
it prints upside down and then builds its way up, you know?
Yeah, it prints this way. So this was technically, this was on the bed, and so it prints up, and so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of Landspeeder Luke files like that print support free, and they just, like, there's a lot of one-piece prints. One piece. So yeah, definitely, if you guys do get a 3D printer, like Jonathan is saying, Tax Refund has 3D printer's name written all over it. There you go.
All right, here you go. Let me try and keep Greedo standing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Very
yeah.
cool.
There we go. Here we go. So yeah, that is going to add to my Cantina display, which Luke's been sharing with us some new stuff he's been working on, and I can't wait. I can't wait for what's coming.
I love the Luke teases in the group chat. I love the Luke teases.
If only he would have just teased us before we wasted all that filament printing other stuff out.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
Exactly, Luke.
I'm just kidding. Or am I? I'm going to bill you.
I just had a bug on me. Scared me.
And for those wondering about this was, I printed this 15% infill grid settings, and this was about 12 hours.
Nice.
So, ow. Not too bad on that one.
Nice.
I'm going to send you a billament. Like, you owe me 200-something grams of filament, mister.
Yeah. I did have a 3D printing nightmare with my spool of filament becoming undone.
You should pull up some of those pictures.
Yeah, let's go to the Discord.
Let's go to the Discord.
You still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I accidentally switched my device because Discord detected my mic. I don't even know, where did I put this stuff?
I put some pictures in 3D printing, and then you put a picture or two.
Yeah.
I got wrapped up in film. Just go to the next one.
People were not understanding what the Instagram story was, and I loved it so much. People are like, what is happening here? 'Cause it looks like barbed wire.
Right.
So what happened was, for bamboo, there's like reusable spools that you can get. Looking back, what I should have done is got a spool with each color. And then when you run out of that color, get refills for that color. But I was just buying refills because it was cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
But when you change it, it's like you have to be really careful not to let it like slink down. Kind of, you know, how a slinky does. And what happened was I started to print with this gray. It was actually the Mandalorian throne. Oh yeah, you can't switch before the roll is done. See, why would Piercing Bullet 7 say to only get 3 that actually has the spool? I think I'm calling Piercing Bullet out live. But there was a print going, and I just heard this crash, and I looked in there, and the filament was just all over the place, all over the floor, completely sprawled out. And the more I tried to untangle it, is the worse it got. Like, it just got worse and worse. But yeah, I love this one. We're just messing around, obviously. Yeah. Like, we were just joking around. But it did go to waste. Like, Lucy couldn't get it, I couldn't get it, Nate couldn't get it. Like, we just could not unravel it to save our lives.
Yep.
So we decided to just throw it away. This
Such
person
is
already
life.
leave? This person just join and leave? Why can't I change their role?
Maybe they did.
Yeah, so I don't that is one thing I will say about the bamboo is I should have got the spools with every color. I don't know. I should have just done that. And then when you run out of that specific color, just get a refill. And then that's what they mean by reusable spool. They don't mean change out the filament on every spool. Just have one spool for all colors, you know.
So so it has to be an empty spool.
It doesn't. You can do it carefully. Like, I will have to just be careful and change them out because I now only have 4 spools, but I have like 8 colors. So for those 4 that are just like refills, I'm just gonna have to be careful changing them out so they don't unravel. I'll just have to like perfectly take them out of the spool, put it back in the box or like a baggie or whatever. But once you get one spool for each color, then you don't have to worry about it. Then you just get the refills for each spool.
Luke requested this to be shown on stream. This is Luke's spool stash.
Can I get the spools? Can I just buy empty spools? Because that would actually be a nice solution.
So were you throwing away your spools then?
No.
Or I guess you haven't...
I only have 4 spools.
Yeah, because I was just straight up buying the spools and then throwing them away. I had no idea they were reusable for like the first like...
Oh, the plastic ones?
Yeah, I was just like...
Oh, shit.
I was like, oh, these are done.
Yeah.
And then one day I was messing with one and I opened it and I was like, oh, so that's how you buy a refill. But yeah.
So, not the biggest deal because I'll just have to be a little careful. And then once those colors are done, I can kind of correct that when I go to rebuy filament. So that has been my first sort of like mistake with the bamboo. But that's really my fault, I suppose. Because I just saw the cheaper price. And I was like, I'll just buy the refills and then I'll just swap them out. But it's hard. You can print a spool, though. Is that a waste? Is that a waste of filament?
Playing 4D chess with bamboo themselves.
Yeah.
Print a bamboo spool.
Yeah, honestly, if I need like 3 or 4, so if you want to send me some, that's fine. I'm down. But the Overture, like on the Ender, they're just cardboard, and you just swap them all out. You know, they all just come on a cardboard spool. I would almost... Why don't they do that? Like, why would they make the spool reusable? Why isn't it just make it cardboard?
Maybe it's
and
more...
put all the filament on there.
Maybe it's more environmentally friendly than cardboard?
Probably, since it's reusable.
I don't know. I have no idea when it comes to filament, because all I've ever bought is bamboo. So
yeah.
I have no frame of reference.
Yeah. Infinite money glitch. Yeah. Exactly. That's true, because when you run out of filament, then you won't need that spool because... Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I've now started keeping my spools so that now going forward I'll buy...
Yeah. There is one slight other problem, and I would have preferred the P1P to come with a flat build plate as opposed to the textured build plate, because when you're printing stuff backwards and you're actually going to be displaying the bottom layer, such as the Cantina bar from Landspeeder Luke, when you flip it over, you're going to have that texture, and it creates this like little sparkle effect, like a subtle little sparkle grainy effect. And I believe the reason why the plate is textured is so it can have an easier time sticking to the bed. Because, like, I haven't had to use glue or anything to get the first layer down. You just hit print and it prints. Because I think that texture helps with it.
You should print a new hotbed.
Yeah.
Huh?
You can buy. Luckily, you can buy flat build plates on their website.
Are build plates expensive or?
Nah, they're cheap because they warp over time, so you'll eventually probably need to replace it.
Yeah, I've already. Trust me, I had a minor freak out the first time my print was so stuck to the build plate that I like popped one corner up, and I was like, "Oh no!" I didn't realize it was like a flat metal like sheet that's magnetized down. Dude, Luke's telling me to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Bro's over here dropping spoilers.
Yeah. But yeah. Other than that, though, I mean, those are minor nitpicks, and I screwed up one spool of filament, so I wasted like $16. There, I said spool again, spool.
Oh yeah, so it's
Spool.
$25 for a smooth plate.
That's like most 3D printing things. Like the parts are cheap to replace.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But real quick, to jump back to the cantina question.
Ooh.
Turns out there's a few more I'm missing than I originally thought.
I was gonna say there's like 70 something characters.
A lot of them haven't been done in any scale. So like,
oh yeah.
like the big ones I'm missing. I would say are Danik Jericho, Felt Pen Trevarg, which is like the little goat-looking dude. Yeah, it's hard to just name them by name because honestly, like who knows what the hell I'm talking about. And Trento Duaba. Those are like the main three that I'm missing that I think are like absolutely essential.
Buy them.
But I should. I mean, I should. They're only going to go up in price. Oh, I don't have Boshek either. I really want to get Boshek. Just that's the guy in the spacesuit that's talking to Obi-Wan for like a second.
Oh, okay.
And then he walks away, and you're just like, who is that guy?
It's probably like Obi-Wan's looking for a pilot to Alderaan, and that specific guy probably was like, I can't help you, sorry. Or
Yeah. So Boshek is one that I would like to get, and then I was looking, and I do need Tequil. Tequil does have a separate figure.
Of course.
He's got a Power of the Force figure.
Cantina alien names OG Brainrot. Yeah, this is the Clone Trooper fans say like this is like our clones, you know, when they're like, I really need this Clone Trooper from 3 seconds of Clone Wars. But then they turn around and hate, why do you need this alien that's in like 2 frames of the movie? I'm like, you do the same thing with clones. This is just like our version of it. You know what I mean? We're the OG brain rot. 100%.
You don't know what brain rot is. That's what Dr. Loomis would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so man, Boshek's expensive too. God damn. $39. Dude, I feel like the Cantina effect is already happening. Like in some of these are just going to be brutal.
I don't know of any Etsy shops. I do know they sell that, like Landspeeder Luke has certified sellers. I've never had to seek them out, so we don't know any Etsy shops or anything like that.
Yeah. Especially now that we just ponied up and, got a 3D printer. Now we really don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're gonna spend $200 on one diorama, just get a 3D printer at that point, because they sell those Star Destroyer bridges for like $200.
Yeah, you're already halfway.
Get a printer.
You're already halfway to the printer.
Just get a printer. All right. Well, I think there's only one segment of the stream left, And for me, at least, it's going to be a very short segment because I don't have many thoughts.
I mean, I would agree. I don't really have too much to say. I don't really have too much to say. Which, maybe that speaks to the quality of the episode, Justin.
Oh my god!
There's one of the Cantina patrons I'm missing is over $150 on eBay. Lord, we need some redos.
I feel like if you're only missing a few, that's not bad. Like, it'll still look really good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like I said, I've got most of the big like characters that you see that have like the camera focused on them. But yeah. All right. Let's talk about the wacko light, the woko light, the joko light.
People are gonna be thinking we're serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you care about spoilers, step off, I guess, or just stay, because you're not really missing a whole heck of a lot if you haven't seen this episode. And in that way, I don't understand the societal collapse element to this, like ruining Star Wars and George's vision, like that whole immediate knee-jerk reaction. I don't get it, because this stuff has been in Star Wars before, like witches and dark arts and dark magic and like while I don't think this episode was great, it was fine. I also I'm struggling to see what is so bad about the episode. And and everyone that I've tried to ask, like, hey, what is bad about this episode? Oh, the writing's bad. Okay, what about the writing is bad? Well, the writing is bad. Like, I'm struggling to find any like clear. It's okay if you don't like the episode or you think it's terrible. I just want to know why. I feel like I don't see like an explained like reasoning behind it other than writing bad. Yeah, so so a couple things. I don't know. I guess my overall thoughts are negative, but it's just like not as negative as other people. For me, child acting is always an obstacle. Child acting, even the good examples of child acting, like T2 Judgment Day, I struggle. I struggle. I don't know if it's a thing with children with me. I just cannot take child acting seriously. I struggle to even think of like an example. Maybe like Jurassic Park. I don't know.
What about Danny Lloyd in The Shining and Stanley Kubrick's The Shining?
Yeah. So I mean, there's examples, but for the most part, child acting, it's always an obstacle that I have to jump over, and I can only take criticism so far because they're literally kids, you know.
Right.
But I wasn't feeling the child acting, of course. And I think my main criticism, I don't even know if it's a criticism. I think I just have apathy. I think I just don't care. You know, so I'll watch it and not hate it, not love it. And the vibe I get is just, I don't care about any of these characters. I don't really find any of it interesting, because we've seen stuff like this in Clone Wars and stuff, like dark witches, witchcraft, dark arts, dark magic, witches, Mother Talzin, like all this other stuff. And then that's also why I don't see why people are... That's also why I don't understand people saying, like, this is breaking Star Wars. This is the end of the world. I'm like, it's just,
Yeah. So Darth Batman's got a question. You really do not think that they are tinkering with Anakin being the chosen one, with them being able to create those two?
So, in a universe where cloning human beings is a thing, I don't find it unbelievable that some dark arts, dark magic witches were able to create some life.
Yeah,
my mind never went to like, oh, they're messing with Anakin being the chosen one. They created, we don't know how. They just said, I created them or whatever. A person created them. Meanwhile, Anakin was like immaculate, or what is the word? Is it immaculate?
Immaculate conception, yeah.
Immaculate conception by the Force. I don't think that's what it's not a 1-to-1, you know, because these two characters were still created by people, like these dark witches with their dark sorcery and magic, which is nothing new to Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And in the same universe where cloning human beings is a thing, I don't find that canon breaking or out of the bounds of the rules of Star Wars.
Yeah. I just really didn't find anything particularly offensive. Like, yeah, the child acting wasn't great. The song they all sing, that was pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Because that just reminded me of The Power Within from SpongeBob.
That was definitely cringe. I have no issues calling that cringe, the chanting. It seems oddly like a child came up with it. It's just like so unbelievably simple. Mm-hmm. And the way they're singing it, definitely wince-inducing for sure. I still think Saul is like the only character that I'm like 100% like I like this character.
Yeah.
Give me more Saul. Give me more Saul.
We'll take Saul. You can kind of leave a lot else behind, but I don't know. I just didn't think it was all that offensive. Like, I watched it and I actually watched the episode twice and I was like, okay. Like, I get it. It's not great, but I'm also like, I don't see the canon breaking. I don't see the tinkering with Anakin. I feel like that's just a lot of people's perceptions. Like, maybe that's what they want to see out of this show.
I thought it was going to be worse because the week leading up to episode 3, the internet, because certain people got to see it early or whatever.
Right.
All of the grifter type channels, it's like, episode 3 is going to destroy Star Wars for good. It's going to... And just from what people have said, without spoiling it, it sounded like it was going to be something like super highly divisive or like hardcore out there. And I'm like, I didn't really get that vibe at all. I thought it was going to be a lot worse for how people were like hyping up how insane it was going to be. Mm-hmm. I didn't get that vibe at all.
Yep.
It's just it reminds me of Clone Wars like sub arcs, which granted, a show with this budget, do I really want it to feel like it's almost kind of like Last Jedi when they were like, we don't have the fuel to outrun the First Order ship. It seemed like such a Clone Wars type of arc, just like a one-off Clone Wars arc. That's what this feels like, and Sure, you want the live action shows to be like more than that, I suppose, but
like have a little bit more gravitas, maybe a little bit more just something going on to them. But again, you know, we have to keep in mind, like, this is the 3rd episode. We don't know if there's clearly going to be more context around what has happened in this particular evening, because we don't see any of the Jedi's perspective. It's clearly left ambiguous. Like, you know, May started a little fire, and somehow that killed everyone and started like a nuclear reactor explosion. I don't think so. So I feel like there's going to be more context that's added later on in the series that we just might not know about at the moment, and that might clear some stuff up. So it's really hard to say like anything like truly definitive about,
because like she drops the lantern or whatever and then the whole mountain explodes,
right?
Which I think there's more to that other than she started a fire and then the mountain exploded. I think there's clearly more to that, because that happened comedically fast. If that's really their explanation for a mountain, made out of stone exploding is the lantern fire,
Yeah, and
that would be pretty bad. But I think there's more to that.
Yeah, and I forget too, but someone in the Discord pointed out that this episode only had one word as the title, whereas the first 2 episodes had like 2 phrases for the titles. So maybe we are going to see like a Jedi perspective version of this episode of like what's going on, because clearly in the episode, like, it's from the point of view of the witches, and the Jedi are not portrayed in like a friendly manner. They're like, why are you here? Why are you trying to steal these children from us? Like, it's very obvious, like, in the context of this episode, the Jedi are the bad guys.
Yeah, and that's a criticism as well, is that they're showing the Jedi as, like, incompetent or, like, not as good, but that's literally what George did in the prequels, and that's what they did in the Clone Wars. They portrayed the Jedi as incompetent. They literally say in there, our ability to use the Force is diminished or something in the prequel trilogy. They had a Sith Lord right under their noses. They blamed Ahsoka. They were going to, like, execute. I'm fairly certain they were going to, like, execute Ahsoka for the bombing. And, like, all the Jedi Masters, like, agreed with it. And, like, they're pretty bad in the prequel. Luke Skywalker is, like, that's the whole point of Luke, is when he did have those attachments. He did have that love for his friends and his father. He could see the good in him. And he proved that you could be a Jedi while still having love and friends and attachment. You saw the good in Vader, threw away his lightsaber. Like, he's proving them wrong, Obi-Wan and Yoda, in the OT. Like, I thought that was the whole point of the character of Luke. Which is why in Book of Boba Fett, when he goes back to being, like, a prequel Jedi, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Like, that's what led to their downfall, is their doctrine in the prequels. And another thing about the lore, I don't know, maybe I might rustle some feathers, but to act like Star Wars ever had consistent or well-defined lore is a joke. For example, why is the fact that even Anakin's conception is up for debate is ill-defined. Was he Immaculate Conception by the Force? Did Plagueis make him? Did Sidious make him? Because there's people in the Discord who debate all 3, and they say, look at this panel from the Charles Soule Vader Dark Lord of the Sith comic where it's like Emperor behind Shmi, and it's like kind of showing that the Emperor created Anakin. But then Charles Soule came out and said that was simply a vision. It shouldn't be taken at face value. So the fact that it's even up for debate, like Anakin's origin, ill-defined. Who's the chosen one? Is it Luke? Because Obi-Wan Kenobi says it to Maul at the end of their duel. He says, is he the chosen one? Obi-Wan says he is. What does it mean to bring balance to the Force? Does it mean that there will always be an equal amount of Sith and Jedi? Because people debate that. Some people think to bring balance to the Force, it means to extinguish the Sith, because the Sith are unnatural. Then there's the rule of 2. Why did Ki-Adi-Mundi say the Sith have been extinct for a millennia, but then in the same movie, Yoda says, always 2 there are, a master and an apprentice. They say it in the same movie. Like, the lore of Star Wars has never been well defined. Why didn't Vader just catch Luke when he jumped in Empire? It's like the deep dive thing. Like, go watch Dune. If you genuinely want the deep dive lore, like consistent lore, like Song of Ice and Fire, Dune, like if you want Lord of the Rings, real well-defined lore, you're not going to find that in Star Wars. I'm sorry. And they've been doing it since the prequel trilogy with midi-chlorians. One of the dumbest things that George Lucas has ever done is the midi-chlorians. They turn it into a lottery. It's just like luck of the draw. Who gets to be Force sensitive? I don't really like that. I don't like midi-chlorian. Like, they've been messing with stuff ever since the prequel trilogy, which is why I always say just the OT is the only stuff that matters. It's the only stuff that matters. I mean, the original trilogy. And Star Wars has always been a very, 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 very incredibly simple thing. It's always been a standard hero's journey. It's always been a very, very simple story, and the lore has never been cohesive or well defined. So people acting like the lore, they're like breaking the lore. They're absolutely rupturing Star Wars. I'm like, they've been doing it since the very beginning. They've always been retconning. They've always been changing things. They've always been just... It's always been ill-defined. The power, even the power. In Phantom Menace, why do they run? Why do they do Force Run? But then when Obi-Wan, why didn't he do Force Run with those red shields that are separating him and Darth Maul? Well, because his stamina bar was low, Justin. He had to recharge his stamina bar. I'm like...
His force meter bar was low, bro.
When you think too much about especially the prequels, which are not well-made films, but they're nostalgic, so we all love them, of course. I mean, they're wonderful abominations.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always been contradictory, ill-defined. It's never had this like grand, like Lord of the Rings-esque lore, or Song of Ice and Fire, or he was not tapped into the Speed Force anymore. So that's been one of the main things I've been thinking about, especially some of these people in the Discord just straight up yapping about like the sanctity of Star Wars lore. I'm like, dude, it's not as deep and complex as you think it is. It really is not. They literally watched that Dave Filoni video about the Duel of the Fates, and they think like Star Wars is like the most complex thing to ever come out. I'm like, it's not. It's never had epic lore. It's just silliness, and that's fine.
Yeah. And I mean, just think about, obviously, and you know, that was a wonderful cook there. You just had the stove and the oven on and the microwave on all at the same time. Maybe even throw the toaster on too. That's how much you were cooking right there. But you know, think about how many times the lore or the canon is immediately changed. Something is put into a comic book, live action changes it. Something's a book, animation
and people always
changes
go down
it.
the EU rabbit hole as if the prequels themselves didn't retcon so much stuff in the EU. Literally, the character of Jango Fett is like a huge, you know, retcon. What the Clone Wars was, and what George ended up, you know, having clones be, and then what people just assumed and made their own books and stories about what, you know, what the clones were. I mean, that's a huge, huge world, like universe-changing thing that is in the prequels compared to like the expanded universe and stuff. You're downplaying George Lucas's storytelling. He wrote and directed the first film, and he co-wrote Empire and Return. The original trilogy, masterpieces. But bro turned around and made the prequel trilogy, dude. He made the special editions. He made the prequel trilogy. I said something earlier. I said it was one of George's... Yeah. George is not the genius. I love George. But people act like he can do no wrong and like get him back in the kitchen, let him cook. Like the prequels aren't well-made films. It's just the memes have tricked everyone into like believing that they're like masterpiece films. I'm like, guys, I love the prequels. They're not good movies though.
I agree. And yeah. That's the Acolyte, right?
Granted, this episode was boring. There was some cringe in it, and I'm mostly I have apathy towards this series so far, which is I'm not really caring. I don't care really about any of these characters. I think I've started to accept that I'm not going to find what I'm looking for in modern Star Wars.
Right. And that's okay,
Unless
though,
it's Andor, of course.
because there's still plenty of great Star Wars out there to enjoy and to dissect and to watch over and over again. I feel like at this point we could just have no new Star Wars and I'd be totally fine, and I'd still be excited about all the stuff that we have right now. Like, did we need a show about Obi-Wan Kenobi meeting Princess Leia as a little girl? What did that add?
Yeah, I think, like, that's a problem with modern Star Wars, is it's just, like, all over the place. And I that's why so many people are confused. It's just like, I remember when the Rogue One commercial came out, the trailer, and people at school were asking, where's Rey, where's Kylo? Like, we underestimate how easy it is for the masses to get lost and confused in this world. And while on a personal level it is nice to take a breath and get a story that isn't connected to the Mandoverse, I can totally understand why nobody cares about this show. I get it. I totally get it. So if you hate it, I get it. If you love it, I get it. I'm just apathetic. I'm just in the boat of not necessarily neutrality. I just, like, I don't care. Like, I'm having a hard time caring for any of these characters. That's where I'm at right now.
There you go. I agree. I'll still watch The Acolyte. I'm going
to watch it.
Yeah, we'll still discuss it every single week and all that stuff, but it's also one of those things where if it does end up overall being bad, I'm just going to go, oh, okay, and just move on. There's plenty of other great Star Wars that I still love. So it's not really a big deal, and it doesn't ruin anything because you could just ignore it. It's all fiction. It's not real. Just ignore it. If you don't like it, just ignore it.
Yeah, and even though I am apathetic, I still just find it crazy how much the negative reaction can go, because it's totally not as bad. Like, it's just fine.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't say this is, like, dog shit, like,
it's
canon breaking. Like, people are acting like the sky is falling, like the world is ending. And honestly, I assumed that there would be, like, more on the nose political stuff, because that's been a lot of course, people's criticisms of the show. But I'm still not really seeing what the egregious, like, political messaging is. Like, it's just a kind of a mystery. Like,
I think it's people wanting to see what they want to see.
And I hate that people feel the need to look at everything under this, like, microscopic, like, they're just looking for anything that can be perceived as, like, culture war bullshit.
Right.
When in reality, it's just, like, pretty simple character traits. Because everyone jumps to, like, the space lesbians. They're trying to I woke up a lesbian. I watched The Acolyte and I woke up a lesbian.
No.
I'm like, even if it's not like they look in the camera and they say, I'm gay and you should be gay too. Like, people overblow that shit so much. I'm like, even if I still don't even know if it's 100%, if that's, like, a thing. Like, they're gay. But even if it was, how is that not just, like, a simple character trait?
Because it's woke, Justin.
Like, it's just a character trait. It's just like any other, like, if they were a straight couple, that would just be a simple character trait. Stop lying, Justin. I watched The Acolyte and I turned gay. And I'm like, and people are like, they're forcing their social agenda on you. I'm like, what is the agenda? That gay people exist?
Right.
Like, how is that an agenda? It's not saying you should be gay just because these characters are gay. Like, what is the goal? There's no goal. It's just a character trait.
It's indoctrination.
I don't understand why that's like how?
Yeah, I don't like I said, I think it's just people wanting to perceive
Nice
those.
gaslighting site. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I have literally never on Out of the Basement. It's always exactly how I'm feeling, and you can look in the Discord under the Acolyte discussion channel and look at all the stuff I've said in there. Everything that I've said in there is what I'm saying right here. Like, I don't try to put on a show just because we're online. I mean, we have 18,000 subscribers. It's not a big deal. Just explain. Like, I don't get it. How are we gaslighting?
Yeah. I mean, this is literally just how we feel. There's no gaslighting around it. Yeah, people either deny gay people exist or they think they're overrepresented by having one couple in canon. 100%. They didn't even kiss. They didn't even give each other a smooch in the episode.
And again, even if they did, like, how is that any different from the 99% of on-screen relationships we see in media, where it's like a heterosexual couple that's treated like you would never think like, oh, they're forcing a straight agenda on us. They're like trying to turn me straight. No, that's not how it works. It's just a character trait.
Yep. It's just
like
who
there's
they are.
there's no goal here for trying to turn you gay. Like, it's not a switch in the back of my head. Like, I watched The Acolyte and I'm like, oh, I gotta fight the switch on the back of my head. Like, I woke up gay. Like, that's not how it works at all. Like, you can't just flip a switch.
Yeah, right. That's true, Luke. Well, plus the passive progressive kiss in Rise of Skywalker. People would rather watch Luke and Leia kiss. I'd rather have incest, if you ask me, brother.
Listen, we ignore that. The OT are masterpieces. We ignore that shit.
No, George had a plan all along. He didn't totally write that stuff as he was going.
They're happy little accidents, all right?
Yeah. It's a little happy little incest
You don't get
moment.
it, Justin. We're just against seeing people happy. I mean, unironically, that is a lot of people's actual real thoughts about it. About that topic. Yeah.
I mean, we've said it 47 times. If you don't like the show, that's fine.
Yeah, because, and I know what you're getting at, because people jump to this conclusion all the time that they say, I can't criticize the show without being called a bigot. I've been sitting here saying I don't care about this show for how long, and no one has claimed that I'm some sort of a bigot. That is so stupid. Like, I have critiqued the MCU, hate it. Modern Star Wars, I shit all over it all the time. No one has ever called me sexist, racist, or homophobic. Because that's not the conclusion that people should be jumping to when you don't like something.
Well, Justin, I think you're racist, sexist, and homophobic.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm failing to see the controversy. It just seems like a lot of, especially from other larger online content creators, it just seems like a grift to me. Seems like grifting for the sake of grifting.
I agree. And I don't understand. I still don't get it. Telling people their feelings are invalid is a form of gaslighting. If you think the show's bad, you're feeling... Didn't I just say like 10 minutes ago, if you love the show, that's great, and if you hate the show, that's great?
That's what I was saying. Like, you know...
a rewind. We need a clip. It was like 10 minutes ago. I can't remember exactly what I said. But
that's why I highlighted Sky High's comment, because we clearly said, you know, if you don't like the show, that's fine. If you do like the show, that's fine. Like, these are just our opinions. This is our live stream. This is our opinion.
Yeah, so of course... We're going to have our opinions on our live stream. I'm not saying that you're an idiot if you don't like the show. I don't really like the show either. I'm indifferent. I'm not on that extreme on the negative side. I'm in the middle. We still have 5 episodes to go. And that's fine. It still has time. Who knows? Maybe I'll hate it. Maybe by the end of the season, I'll hate it even more. And maybe by the end of the season, I'll love it even more. Heck, maybe I'll still have my same opinion right now, which is mostly apathetic, and I don't I don't really care one way or the other. But I'll still, I'll watch it. I got Disney Plus.
Yep.
Got,
Yeah, it's fine so far. I would say these 3 episodes, I'm enjoying them more than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I can say that for sure. Kenobi is my least favorite out of the Disney Star Wars stuff.
Because Kenobi just takes a beloved character and throws him in the dumpster. At least this is all new characters. Well, some of them I think have appeared in novels, comic books, maybe.
Yeah.
But I haven't read any of that stuff. So I haven't read any of it. I'm just waiting for Geode to show up, right, guys? Everyone's favorite High Republic character, Geode.
Yep. But of course, Zooboy, of course. I don't think we've had that in the chat. I know someone earlier was like, "Oh, space lesbians." I'm like,
Yeah.
Very low standards, especially for Kenobi.
Yeah. But also, people. I was gonna say this earlier. Was Justin, you and I have watched a lot of horse shit in our life, like a lot of truly bad film, a lot of truly bad media.
Yeah.
I feel like most people just have not seen that many like truly
Go watch,
awful.
Jeepers Creepers 3 and then come back and talk to me, or
check out Spookies and tell us about bad movies.
Go watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And
hey, you take that back.
To me. Then you can talk to me.
Right. I'm just like, when I see stuff like that saying like this is the worst thing ever, I'm like, well, you probably haven't seen some straight to DVD horse shit like we have.
It's basically just corporate product, the same that they've been doing. Like it's all the, it's the same stuff. I feel like they're all this. Unfortunately, I feel like Star Wars has sort of turned into the MCU, where I just feel like they're all kind of the same thing, just with like different settings. And just all the beats are kind of the same. There is no really cringe humor in The Acolyte, which I definitely appreciate, because I hate the cringe humor of the MCU. But
I agree.
We'll see. There's definitely some cringe in this episode, but it wasn't like cringy comedy. It was just cringy, like,
there was
sing song.
There was no Yo Mama jokes, so that's a big positive. Justin, did you finish the Sour Patch Oreos?
I took them to work, actually, because I wanted other people to experience. Like, whenever there's a weird flavor of Oreos, it's kind of just like an unspoken rule that we all share our abomination flavors. Because Oreo is always having some weird, like...
They love
having some weird, like, flavors.
There you go. Two Schlub says, everyone who acts like Star Wars is somehow ruining their childhood should be forced to watch Jaws the Revenge and Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, tack Spookies on there. If you can sit through Spookies, then you're a legend, I guess.
Yeah, that's facts.
Commander Marsh asks, are we going to see In a Violent Nature? We have already seen it, and I did not like it.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the road on it. I don't... With horror, I like rewatchability. I'm not sure if I would rewatch it.
I feel like, not to go on a total tangent about In a Violent Nature, but it was simultaneously trying to present itself as some art house deconstruction of the slasher genre, while simultaneously playing into some of the worst, most tired tropes of the genre. So I was like, what are you trying to say here? Like, and that just ended up kind of turning me off. I would have preferred it if it just leaned all the way into deconstructing the slasher subgenre, or lean into trope fest, but it's from the POV of the killer, so it's slightly different.
Okay. If you think anything is ruining your childhood, yeah, it's stupid. That is a stupid thing to say. Because nothing that comes out can take away what came before. You still have the original trilogy. I still have the OT. It's my favorite thing out of all movies ever. It doesn't matter what Disney, Lucasfilm, they could shit on the screen and call it a Disney Plus series, and I would still have my OT. If you're literally letting it ruin your childhood, that is stupid. I have no problem calling that stupid. Nothing should be able to ruin your childhood like that.
Yeah. Especially pieces of media. Like, I don't understand how that could have such a grip on your childhood. Like, that's all your childhood is defined on, is the pieces of media you watched, not the family or friendships or like vacations or stuff like that. That didn't define your childhood. Media did. I don't know.
So if you're saying it's gaslighting by saying those feelings are invalid, yes, that's stupid. That's a very stupid thing for someone to say. They could literally do anything. They could make the worst thing in existence. It's not going to take away what came before. You can still like the OT, the PT, whatever, Clone Wars, Rebel. Like, you can pick and choose the things you like. It's not going to ruin your childhood. I mean, how could a movie like a lot of people look back on their if you look back on your childhood with good fond memories, I don't see how something in the future could take that away from you. I would say that's definitely a stupid take. Yeah. I got nothing else. I got nothing else to add to that.
Yeah. Like Zoo Boy. Here you go. Here's Zoo Boy's my review on Letterboxd for Spookies. Spookies more like poopies. God level film criticism.
Yeah. And Mike brings up a good point. It's the opposite of me. When I think of Boba Fett, I think of the Boba Fett of the OT. And I thought Book of Boba Fett was incredibly silly. Kind of turned him into a little bitch.
Like a panther. I'm a funny guy
and they
now.
had MCU goofy-ass humor in Book of Boba Fett. But I can still look back at the OT and think, that's a badass character. Just standing there looking cool. Very simple. I love Boba Fett. And when I think of Boba Fett, I don't think of Book of Boba Fett. I think of wherever he's at. He's over here in Jabba, right by Jabba. That's my Boba Fett. So even if they turn him into some goofy clown who cares about Mos Espa for no reason and says, this is my town, these are my people. I'm like, are they?
Bro,
it's not going to ruin what came before.
Bro, you were getting a contract at Jabba's palace one time.
Yeah.
He's like, it was my favorite bar I hung out at.
Yeah.
That's like going to bat for your local bar. I'm gonna go make sure Franklin House is protected at all costs.
This is where I clash with you, Wilbon. This is where we always clash. You and Zach are always coming at me.
Well, I mean, that's a lot. Since we don't like talk about too much of like our movie or film opinions anymore, like a lot of people don't know that, like, I feel like I can speak for both of us when we say like comedy in general is probably like the least like thing we enjoy.
Yeah.
Like subgenre, movie genre. Like, I am not a big comedy fan. I think most comedies are awful. I think most jokes in shows like Star Wars and
it's so artificial.
Yeah, it's just painful. So when things get silly, I'm like, oh boy, I'm cringing.
Yeah, and most of that has to do with consistent tone, and I feel like that's something that...
It's like when Game of Thrones started having fart jokes in them.
Yeah, and Star Wars started having fart jokes in it in Phantom Menace.
I mean, that's true, but thankfully I was 9 when I saw
exactly
when I was watching that.
And you know, we love the OT, and the OT has moments of levity. It has comedic relief in the form of like C-3PO, and that's fine because you have to think the era it came out. That's 100% different from like Black Panther having a "what are those" joke.
Oof.
Because they're like artificially inserting real world memes and like comedy into the MCU. And then I think that with the MCU's big success, all the other big blockbuster franchise, they're like, we need to put that in our movies. And then it like infected all of the big franchise movies into having this like tension killing dad humor. I hate it. I hate it.
Yep. The MCU has a lot of things to be praised in it for sure, but the popularization of cringe dad humor is was one of the most brutal things they could have done. And it dates your movie too. Like, you think when people are going to watch Black Panther in 20 years and they make a "what are those" joke, people are going to be like, oh, ha ha ha.
Exactly.
I get that reference.
Yeah, and then, like, I'm just trying to think of another example, but like Doctor Strange with the whole cringy Beyonce thing.
Yeah.
I hated that so much because it's like, it just seems like an artificial corporate product. And it's like, consume next product. It's like a conveyor belt, you know? It's like a repaint. That's literally what the MCU is. It's like repaint. It's like you got your Carbonized, you got your credit collection, you got your Holocom, you got your holiday figures.
Right. Brother, I have some news for you about the entire franchise of Star Wars. You might want to brace for this. It's always been political.
Look at the prequel trilogy. There is a lot of like post 9/11 Iraq War sort of stuff in it. Like Newt Gunray is literally an anagram for Newt Gingrich and Ronald Reagan. Gunray, Ray-Gun, Reagan. Like
who do you think the Imperial Army is based off of?
There's all sorts of stuff. And the whole like the Force is female thing, that was about Air Force Ones. That was like a shoe. And it was for, I can't remember the specifics, but that whole the Force is female thing is literally fake news because it was about some shoe release that they were all wearing the shirt for, and it was about like the Air Force One like shoe thing. I'm not like 100% familiar, but the whole Force is female thing is about a shoe. It's not about Star Wars.
Right.
And they've never said that. They've literally never said that in any Star Wars media.
Yeah, here you go. 49er Brian's got it right here.
It's all about them Benjamins.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. It was a Nike campaign for Air Force Ones, getting a women's shoe. And said the Force is female. Because they've literally never said that in any Star Wars show or movie or anything. And I totally agree. And that goes back to people just because they're so involved in the culture war bullshit, because they keep seeing fake articles and memes on Facebook, let's face it.
Yep.
They look every new piece of media. I mean, they're in literally the Critical Drinker video, which he's a grifter. We all know that. But the trailer for Acolyte, there was like a shot of the Padawans, and he literally paused the screen and wrote on there for every single minority to illustrate that there was like a lack of white men. This is not like a healthy thing to do. Like no one does this. And it's like, because it was like alien, female. So there was no like white boy child Padawan in that specific shot. I'm like, this is insanity. It's because everyone on that side of things, at least, has to look at every new piece of media under this microscope for anything that they can perceive to be like, they're forcing an agenda on me because these characters are so and so. If you were to look back, and nobody did because you were a kid when you saw Alien and Aliens and The Terminator and whatever else strong female lead throughout the years. When you were a kid, you weren't looking at the culture war bullshit, and now you are. So if you would have saw those movies when you were a kid, you probably would be saying, this shit's woke. Of course it's a woman.
You're
course.
telling me some woman could take down an alien species that's never been seen before?
Casino.
Yeah, right, brother. Yeah. And I mean, just to kind of cap everything off too, I really feel like a lot of these like Star Wars fans could spend a little bit of time like analyzing a lot of the themes that come out of Star Wars, like a lot of the dialogue that Yoda says, or like what Mike pointed out, Qui-Gon saying your focus determines your reality. Like maybe take in some of the lessons that like, you know, are presented to you and utilize that. Anger, it leads to the dark side.
And it's just like anger over nothing, because the show can be bad. It can just be a not good writing. You don't like the characters, but the same thing could happen if they were all white. You know, you could have a show where they were all white and the show is still bad. Like Mando season 3. Like no one really says that's a woke show, do they? I don't know. I didn't like it because it's more about the quality of the product than who they choose to cast.
Right.
You know? It's the quality of the writing, the directing, the editing, the cinematography, like the whole production of everything. That determines the quality.
No.
Yeah. Exactly, Zooboy. Is that exact? And the thing is, you're exactly right. And if they do like it, then it's not woke. If you've ever noticed that, like Spider-Verse literally has a protect trans kids flag in the film, but that's not a problem because the movie was dope, right? Like no one's actually gonna be like, this shit is woke trash. Like it's only when it's actually bad. As if it couldn't be bad, it would be the same product if they were all white men. It would still be kind of a boring show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you know, maybe you're a bit apathetic to it like I am. It doesn't really have to do with the quality.
This Cthulhu person is... you're tripping, brother. You're tripping. Lucas wasn't trying to say one political side was better.
The writers are doing that now. So how are they doing that, though? Like, how are they doing that right now?
Yeah,
Like in the Acolyte specific, how are they saying one political side is better than the other?
Ready for the crickets, brother?
It's either crickets or it's going to be the space lesbians. But a person being gay existing is not political. That is simply a human being existing. It's a character trait.
Facts.
That is not political.
Gay people exist. What a concept.
Like, seriously.
Having them represented in media is not going to kill you. And it's also not going to make you gay.
Yeah, and it's not. Like, it literally, like we said earlier, it's not a switch that you just turn on or off.
Right. You either are or you aren't. It's not something that you can become. And if you think that's something, then you need some help.
Yeah, and I just, again, like, if you want to say your piece, but say exactly what you think is so political about the show itself. Mm-hmm. The actual show, like in the episodes, the content of the show.
Right.
Tell us what is so highly divisive and highly political. And what was your exact quote was, they're saying one side is better than the other. So what exactly do you mean by that?
100%. 100%. Let the crickets begin. Wow, Out of the Basement really went woke on this episode.
Which we've always been LGBTQ plus friendly. That's 100%. Always been a known thing. That shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, because that is not political. I absolutely do not think that's political, because it's a group of people existing, like simply existing. It's not, people existing is not political.
100%.
And it's probably a little jarring to have people on YouTube for Star Wars say this. That might come as a little bit of a clash now. Watch Monday Night Figure Ball tomorrow night.
Oh boy. Respecting other humans. Damn, y'all been drinking the Kool-Aid.
And I already know the response is going to be, well, they need to stop shoving it down our throat. But again, that is it's a character trait. How is a character trait forcing it down your throat? Because that's always the response, is they're forcing it down our throat. They're forcing it down our throat. But if you were to look at the other side, 99.99% of on-screen relationships being heterosexual, that's not forcing it down your throat. Because that's the societal norm. So that's just like, you don't even think about it.
Yep. And here we go. Garbage. You can get out of here now, brother. Peace be with you. Get some help.
Oh, no. That's
Stop
hilarious.
it.
That was perfect.
Yep. See? And
That
that's
was
what...
perfect. Thank you.
A tale as old as time. I can't actually tell you what's wrong with the show other than my garbage beliefs.
And it's the most pathetically predictable thing of all time, and they can never, ever actually explain it, because they know if they do explain what they're truly feeling on the inside, even then they can recognize that sounds bad, I shouldn't post that. That's how ridiculous it is. In your mind, you know it sounds bad. And you're making the conscious decision not to post your actual true thoughts, because even you can see that you shouldn't post that on the internet. It's hilarious. I'm like, you might as well not be homophobic at that point. Like, why not? Like, if even you can recognize that that's a shitty thing to say, why not just be the opposite of homophobic and just be chill? Like, just chill out, guys. Chill out. The entire world would be better off if everyone can just take a breath and chill, because you're putting in so much effort. I don't even know what the hell you just said. I'd have to scroll up. You're putting in so much effort to spew nonsense.
It was your favorite Reddit buzzwords. Red pill Reddit buzzwords. Neo-identity Marxism ideology.
Oh my god. Bro,
bro's watching the quartering and he's like, I got him this time.
Yeah.
Explain.
Like, you don't even know what that means.
I was just about to say, explain what any of that actually means. Let the crickets begin.
Bro, lay off the Tucker, bro. Lay off on the Tucker Carlson show, bro.
Yep. And Luke hit it right on the head. Outrage is addictive and profitable. And 100%, I guarantee you most of the people that grift on YouTube and say these wild, outlandish things, they don't mean it. They don't believe in it. But people click on those videos. They get that ad revenue. And therefore the cycle continues.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're 100% right, Bender. They are subbed. I can guarantee, I'm slapping a guarantee, Cthulhu is subbed to Tim Pool. He probably even wears the beanie, bro.
Take the beanie off.
He probably wears the beanie.
Take the beanie off. Oh. Hey, I'm not outraged. LOL. Sure, pal. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
That was a fun stream. I knew that was going to happen this time. I knew that was going to happen on this episode. Like I said, they're 100%. Pathetically predictable. Pathetically predictable.
Yep. Hey, Cthulhu, still waiting for you to explain that why the Acolyte's showing one side is good or bad in either way. Still waiting on that. Nothing? Nothing? Got to change the goalpost? Got to change the subject? Like always?
Yeah. All that being said, I'm still going to watch The Acolyte from week to week, but it just hasn't hooked me yet, you know?
For sure.
And, like I'm sorry for repeating myself, but that's just how I am. I'm just a little apathetic. Like, I'm struggling to care about anything so far. So.
But you know what, Justin? House of the Dragon Season 2 starts tonight.
That's facts.
And that's going to be hype.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I forgot about that. But I am a big A Song of Ice and Fire fan. And we love the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, Nate. And
Them
we
some
loved,
good shows.
We loved House of the Dragon season 1. House of the Dragon season 1, it's like a return to like Game of Thrones season 1 where everything is slow, taking its time. The dialogue is rich. The characters have depth. It's everything that modern Star Wars is lacking, guys. So
let's go.
If you do want to experience that, watch House of the Dragon season 1, and then watch season 2 tonight. I'm definitely going to.
I'm so unbelievably hyped. It's funny because it seems like just yesterday we were like, damn, we have to wait so long for season 2 of House of the Dragon, and here it is. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I hope there's no nudity. I'm going to watch it with my granny. Maybe.
Oh no.
Maybe Granny wants to see a thing or two. You know. You never
Hey,
know.
never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Having no nudity in Game of Thrones, that's like having no lightsabers in Star Wars. It only happens in sometimes.
Yeah,
right? There's no lightsabers in Andor.
I totally agree, Mike. It's saying like again, it's a simple trait of someone. It's like saying you like pineapple on your pizza and I don't agree with your lifestyle. That's it. It's 1 or 2 steps away. You know what I mean? I totally agree with you there, Mike. And it has nothing to do with me. So why would I give a shit? Like, honestly, if
it's not affecting our lives.
We're gonna wrap up the stream, but from the bottom of my heart, if anyone is hearing us and still not understanding, just think for a second. Like, truly try to think why you're so mad. Why does this make you so upset? Why do you feel the way you feel? And why is it geared towards negative resentment towards that group of people? It has nothing to do with you. So just take some self-reflection time and ask yourself, why does this make me so mad? Because all you have to do is chill out. Just chill.
That was
Take
good,
a
Justin.
Deep breath.
I like that.
Walk. It sounds like a cliche. It sounds kind of corny, but like most issues, put yourself in another person's shoes and just think. Like it sounds cliche, but that has genuinely changed me for the better compared to high school Justin. High school Justin is a different story. Cooking up a storm. Yeah. And hey, I mean, if people are going to unsub, they unsub. We've never been maybe as out there as we were this episode, but I've always felt like it was like a ticking time bomb. Like, we're eventually going to let it be known because something that happens in modern Star Wars is going to force us to take that plunge and go on this sort of a rant. And so I knew this day would come. So our opinions on all that are all out there and unapologetic. We don't care. We'll take an unsub if you're not liking what we're saying and you really that much to where you would unsubscribe, that's fine. But at the end of the day, I support my fellow humans because at the end of the day, that's all we are humans. And there's already too much chaos in this world. So let's try to be a little light at the end of the tunnel here, guys.
That's right. And see, 49er Brian? See? See what happened?
Bro dipped, and he's going to say, they were ganging up on me. They were ganging up on me. That's what happens.
Can't explain it.
And they never can.
Yeah.
They never can explain it.
Yep. It's really easy to love your fellow human being. And what they do in their personal lives has no effect on you, and it never will. So concerning yourselves with other people's personal lives just leads to a lot of unhealthy
Here, I'll take this
Thoughts?
opportunity to. I'll take this opportunity to gain a financial advantage.
Yeah,
If
there
you
we go.
really agree with us, you'll sign up for the Out of the Basement channel membership.
Yeah, show your real agreement support by giving us $5 a month. Got to get that grift.
Yeah, just
We're opposite grifters.
we are, and it's an uphill battle because grifting is so easy. Like, it would be the easiest thing in the world.
Dude.
Easiest thumbnails to make, easiest content. It would be so easy.
Laser eyes, mad about everything. Oh, they're coming.
New merch drop. Imminent.
Yeah.
I need the unsub so I can spin the wheel.
Yeah, so Shadow Dragon can win the wheel. But yeah, it's not hard.
Yep. And on that note, I think we're done here.
Yeah, I think it's a good time. Good time as any to head on out and hit the dusty trail and get ready for House of the Dragon Season 2 tonight. Pre-Visla. Just wait till they find out Greedo was played by a woman.
I can't believe it. Look up who edited Star Wars. 1977.
The number one answer may shock you.
Yep.
But-
All right, take us away, Nate. Take us away.
Yeah, so we'll have a video going live this week, right? You're going to have that video up?
Yeah, I
Or-
think so. I think so.
Okay, so we will have a video live this week talking about our favorite fan channel website to pre-order figures from. Kind of go into a little bit of pros, a little bit of cons about that certain site, even though, I mean, you guys know what it is. It's Big Bad Toy Store, but we're going to have a video about that going up this week. And we also have a banger planned out that we're going to be filming this week. We'll probably post next week, so that'll be pretty exciting.
Nice.
Other than that, though, that's pretty much all we got for you this week. We thank you for joining us on this fine Father's Day Sunday. Hopefully you can spend some time with your father. If not, send him a text, give him a call, let him know you love him. Especially for someone like me, I can't talk to my dad anymore. So do it for your boy. Wish your father a happy
Truth.
Father's Day.
Very true.
Give him a call. Tell him old Nate from Out of the Basement said
Yeah,
to.
tell him Nate sent you.
Tell him Nate sent you. But we hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.
Dude, where's the outro?
Oh, you can't find it, bro. Click on it.
There it is. Bye, guys. There, yeah, the harmonica.